What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan, and this is the Thunder Channel. On nootropics and biohacking, every shred of information we put on this channel is brought to you by a couple products. All the content that we put out is made possible by you guys purchasing nootropic products that we sell. But the great thing is they're awesome. Number one, we have a nootropic stack called Cortex. So look, I built Cortex essentially for myself initially and for the type of profile that's me. Entrepreneur, works 12 to 18 hours a day, hustles for life, and needs the kind of brain performance that does that. We built a stack for it. It's called Cortex. Enough said, $33 at the website. Support us outright. Make more videos possible. If you need a discount, totally fine. Just got to buy a couple bottles. Go to the homepage at livecortex.com and you will see discounts for purchasing multiple bottles. If you need my help on formulating custom stacks for you and your profession and helping you figure out how to get the best out of nootropics, I mean, there is a methodology we're actually going to talk about in this video. Get the Nootropics consulting service. Cheapest it's ever been at $49.99 right now. If you're new to nootropics, this is very critical, or within 1 year and can't figure things out and just need help and you don't want to get the consulting service, buy Smarter, Better, Faster. That's your first step. That's a book we wrote, digital book, that teaches you everything. It's like years of nootropics philosophy and experimentation infused into a digital book, very, very easily readable and digestible. Get the Nootropic Starter Pack if you want to get that. That's Smarter, Better, Faster plus Cortex, great package deal, or the Nootropic Starter Pack Pro, Cortex, Smarter, Better, Faster, a consult with me, the Racetam God Guide, Stack List, ultimate package deal. Last thing, if you are a dude and you don't have sex drive and you're not building muscle easy and you're not losing fat easy, you don't wake up super motivated, you don't feel masculine and confident and energized, that's testosterone. I mean, I cannot tell you the difference it makes in your life when you raise testosterone. A lot of you guys are sort of thinking about it and waiting on pulling the trigger. For what? LiveCortex.com, $99 right now. The Viking Testosterone Protocol will get it done. There are ways to raise testosterone measurably. It's not about taking one chemical or the other. It's about a bunch of different things, a little complex, but it freaking works. Get that at LiveCortex.com. Last thing, if you have adrenal fatigue, we can help you out of it in short order. It's called the Adrenal Protocol. Get that at LiveCortex.com. All right, so I want to talk about specificity and experimenting. This is sort of philosophical, really methodological in terms of nootropics, taking nootropics, using nootropics, getting the best benefit of nootropics. Look, we take nootropics and we want to get the best effects. Ideally, 15 to 20 days a month, because really you should cycle at least 10 days a month, preferably 15. Honestly, that's what I do now. You want to be able to take nootropic stacks, get predictable performance, so you know exactly what you're going to get for however long it's going to affect you, and then apply that to your work. The only way to do that is to approach your experimentation with such specificity that you approach it the way that I approach it. And you know your doses on everything, you know what's going to affect you, and through that experimentation process, you record everything. So let's dial this back a little bit. I want to take you back to, I want to say 2008 timeframe, when I was just getting into nootropics, just experimenting. For the first I want to say almost 4 years, I treaded a lot of water with nootropics. I got the results that a lot of other people do, and they do it haphazardly. I wasn't tracking doses. I'd be taking random things. I would, look at Longevity and the nootropic subreddit and be like, 4 grams of paracetam with 350 milligrams of alpha GPC is the dose I should take with paracetam alpha GPC. And then I would take that dose, and it might work for 1 or 2 days or something, and then it would stop working, or it'd make me tired or make me lethargic and want to go to sleep. That lasted for a while, and there was a point at which I was kind of like, you know what? I think I'm gonna give up taking nootropics. I think I'm just gonna optimize the hell out of my sleep. I'm gonna meditate a lot more. I'm gonna work out differently. I'm gonna watch my micro and macro intake and just perfect it for my energy expenditure, my blood type. I just started getting into all these other things. But then I realized, wait a minute, I'm actually not even approaching this nootropics administration thing with any degree of specificity. So that's the time basically my life changed around productivity, my business, around nootropics, and around getting good results with nootropics. So let's zoom back out now, and let me zoom you in to an example of a person that we've been talking to, that we got some really, really awesome stacks to work, but that was treading water for the guy was taking nootropics on and off for 2-3 years, and could not get any stacks that were consistent, could not figure out a schedule for stacks to take that he knew worked. And he just started treading water in this place where I was, where he's kind of wanting to give up nootropics. Anyway, called on us, did a couple consulting calls, and we worked some stacks in for him, got some real specificity, did some experimentation, because there does require experimentation in those consults. So it's a little bit of work on your guys' part to record things specifically and email them back to me. And now we got the guy on like 8 stacks over the course of a month to take. He emails me every other day. He's like, dude, I cannot tell you how valuable this is. He works in a big corporation. He's like, I'm going to tell all the other executives about it. It just works. Breaking down the example, when I first talked to him, he was like, I get inconsistent results with racetams. There'd be times when I would take paracetam and alpha GPC, and I'd feel good for 20 minutes, and then it'd make me want to go to sleep. And then I would have to literally like take a nap or something, and then get back and drink some coffee. And it would take a little bit before I got my brain function back, and I wasn't even really optimal after that. The guy experimented with a lot of pre-made stacks too: Qualiamine, Alpha Brain, Optimind, MindLab Pro, Siltep, all the ones that we all sort of know about, and was like, he just had a lot. I'm asking him specific questions. Okay, so with the paracetam, what were you taking with it? And he was like, oh, alpha GPC, and I was also taking Qualiamine. And I was like, okay, wait. See, this is where the specificity comes in. So how much alpha GPC? Turns out it was like 200 milligrams, and then Qualiamine, which in its various iterations, has alpha GPC and cognizant, which is basically CDP choline in it, in high quantities. And he didn't even really know the quantities. He's just like, I was taking Qualiamine and like a couple hundred milligrams alpha GPC, and that was sort of it. He actually gave up on that stack on paracetam in general because he couldn't figure it out. So I had to look at it like, that's breaking it down specifically. Remove the Qualiamine in that situation, right? You want to get basic paracetam stacked. Remove the Qualiamine. Take 2 grams paracetam, 100 milligrams alpha GPC. Start there. See how you respond. Write it all down. Report back to me. We'll go from there. Turns out the dude's sweet spot was like 65 milligrams alpha GPC and 2.5 grams of paracetam. We figured that out through a very short process of experimenting. And now the dude has 1 stack out of the experimentation reservoir into the I know this works reservoir, and that's it. Same thing applied with like aniracetam and Noopep. The guy was taking a Noopep stack that was like 20 milligrams Noopep. It had centrophenoxine in it. It had another choline source in it. And I think it had like caffeine and theanine in it or something. Complex stack, right? Doses that were way too high. I wouldn't particularly stack centrophenoxine with another choline source and Noopep, especially at 20 milligrams of Noopep. That's like really high. You're just going to run into cholinergic overload. The brain is a sensitive instrument, and what you want to do is you want to get yourself baseline pretty good, just a bump above baseline, but one that's noticeable, not like something subtle. But you want to push the lever to the point where it's like right at that mark, where if you take any more, your dose is even a little higher, it might make you tired, you'll have not the same effects, or you have side effects. Just below that point is the point at which you're going to get awesome results with nootropics. Cannot stress that enough. Just below the point where you're going to get side effects. Where if you take too much and take something up 25 milligrams, it's so sensitive. Just below that point is where you will get the best results. So with aniracetam, it was a little sketchy. He didn't really know the dose. He was taking too much CDP choline with it. He was taking vinpocetine and a few other compounds with it. We narrowed it down, dropped the aniracetam dose. Instead of alpha GPC, put CDP choline in there, low dose. Turns out again, 50 to 65 milligrams. Sweet spot for this dude. Ended up bringing coliracetam in there, stacking it at 2.5 milligrams. This is what I'm talking about degrees of specificity. That works, and it worked consistently. Now, I wouldn't suggest at that point, once you figure that out, take that stack every day or something. Take it twice a week. And then take, the paracetam stack twice a week. And then on Friday, if you need performance, take 100 milligrams modafinil. Next week, 3 different stacks. Okay? Now we've got the guy with a bunch of stacks through that experimentation process into the I know this works reservoir. Over the course of a month, he's got a good enough amount of stack that he knows predictably will work. And here's the best part. Because there's cycling, because no stack is being taken consistently, because we've refined the doses for his particular brain and what his brain needs now, there's no side effects, there's no tolerance, there's no inconsistencies. It's just, I know what to take right now, I know what it's going to do for me. the response is super predictable and it's easy. Okay, so I just wanted to make that point. That is the process that you just have to be super specific about what you're taking. Do that kind of rigorous experimenting and writing. You got to write it all down. That is the most critical thing when experimenting with nootropics. You got to write it all down. Otherwise, you don't know what's happening. There's a famous business executive named Peter Drucker, and he wrote a book called The Effective Executive. And in The Effective Executive, one of the most standout quotes, that's also a very famous quote, is it's something to the effect of what gets measured gets managed, and what cannot be measured cannot be managed. Okay, measurement, specificity. Don't be nibbleless. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Remember, guys, Cortex stack, $33. If you want to talk about a pre-made stack that actually I went through this process of super refinement, it's actually a very minimal stack, but works really well. That's what you get when you do specificity. Just buy Cortex, turns everything on, $33 at the website, discounts on multiple bottles, livecortex.com homepage, you'll find all that stuff. If you need my help, like this, on finding 6 or 7, 8 stacks that work well for you, that are perfect, that you don't have to do any more experimenting after, that you find them and you stick with them, predictable, get the Nootropics consulting service. That is what we do in that consult. If you're new to Nootropics, Smarter, Better, Faster, the Nootropic Starter Pack, or the Nootropic Starter Pack Pro, and if you're a man and looking to boost testosterone, look, I have a girlfriend. A lot of you guys who are men have girlfriends or wives. Your relationship changes when your sex drive is better. Like, don't you want to be super attracted to your woman? Don't you want to just be turned on at the sight of her in bear pajamas or something? You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is. And then God forbid you wear something super sexy. Then it's like you're 20 again and you can't focus. You should want that. Not to mention testosterone makes you live longer. It makes you feel better. You put on muscle easier. You lose weight easier. You're confident. You're masculine. You focus better. You're motivated. If you want to boost tests, we can do it. And I love it so much because it happened to me. I had low testo, overtraining, not sleeping enough, a few other things, not eating enough carbs. Tank my test was at 350. Guess what? After experimenting for a while, figuring out the complex set of things to do in the protocol, went up to 850. I actually had to dial back the protocol because I was getting aggressive, if you want to know the truth. Okay, so get the Viking Testosterone Protocol. Don't go on TRT. $99, livecortex.com, okay? Last thing, if you are a male or female and you are having adrenal fatigue, like literally diagnosed adrenal hormone insufficiency, we can help you. I mean, there's a protocol for it. You just have to get the hormones functioning again. It's a little bit of brain work, but it's very possible and works very well. Adrenal Protocol, livecortex.com. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.